Hi there, I'm Tyler, and I'm here playing with the Gauntlet crew, which, if you watch much, I play a lot with the Gauntlet crew because they're awesome. Everybody there, wonderful role players, a wonderful place full of supportive people. It is a blast. Absolutely wonderful. And you can go find us. We still have a G Plus while it lasts. We're on Facebook. You can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com. We put out a fantastic fanzine. You can find us on Patreon and help support us. And we're doing a Kickstarter right now for our Codex fanzine, our first compiled volume, and it is awesome. It is so nice looking. And you can find that on Kickstarter, or you can find us on Twitter. Hell, we're everywhere. But you should come and find us if you like gaming with neat folks. We're going to be playing tonight a Powered by the Apocalypse hack of Changeling the Lost, which is a World of Darkness on its path game. This particular adaptation of it for Powered by the Apocalypse is done by our own Gauntleteer and Emmy award-winning Lowell Francis, who has put together a wonderful game. And we're in that polishing stage now. We're getting to a very early chance to play on it, but it's coming together, and it's really, really nifty. And we're going to be playing that tonight. And I want to start by saying that we have the Gauntlet inclusivity policy in effect, which is basically we're here to support each other. We're good friends. It's a table that is open. If something, if you need to step away, that's perfectly fine. If something's causing you problems, I just don't, you are free and should feel free to step out if you need to. But along with that is we're all here to make each other comfortable and happy. Everyone is welcome at this table, and we're here to have fun. We also have the X card, because this game can be, on occasion, it's dark. I've been running it kind of dark and horror-y. Changeling itself is a lot about oppression and fear and abuse and helplessness and trust, building up trust after you've been through a horrible traumatic experience. There's a lot of things that can come along that can make things uncomfortable. And we've done Alliance and Veils beforehand where we don't have sexual assault. We don't have harm against the helpless. We don't do animal cruelty in this game. That's one of the things we're putting across there. But in case something does get problematic or something's just destroying your fun, or you say, I don't want to see this anymore, we have the X card. You can do this. You can put something up in chat, or you can also just say, hey, Tyler, I think I want to X that. I might clarify where we're at. We'll rewind. We'll set it off again. It's no problem whatsoever. It's here to make sure we're all having the best time and we all feel safe. Now, I'm going to tell a little bit of where we are in our story, and then we'll introduce our fantastic characters. We've played 2 sessions so far, and in the beginning, we had discovered a young lady out in the hedge. She had been wrapped up in all this blackness and hauled through the hedge, but our motley had rescued her, or at least 3 of them had, while the other had made sure to secure a thorn that they were out in the hedge to try and find. Once they rescued her, she had, the blackness had moved away, and she had been scared. She was young looking, but almost immediately began aging rapidly. She had a very old-fashioned look, and it was because of one of our motley mates having done a bit of a contract, invoked the powers of reality, and stopped that aging and made her young again. She's about 20, and she had told of this doctor, this person who had taken her, and she had run through the labyrinths of his hotel, the corridors, the endless halls. And she was clearly frightened that he was going to come get her again. But our motley was like, no, we're going to take care of you. You're going to be safe. Don't worry. Here, we're getting out of here. And they jumped through the hedge into an alley in Chicago where she was like, what is this place? This doesn't look like Chicago. Oh, I'm very, very scared. And they come to realize that she was from some time in the past. And as she had sort of had fainted away and had basically in exhaustion fallen asleep, the motley had moved off to take her to one of their safe places, their den. It's about that time they discovered that they had left someone behind in the hedge. One of their motley had not made the jump. and was oddly missing. And so after some discussion, they felt sure he'd find his way back. It's no problem. And so had instead brought this girl back and tried to make her comfortable, where she had given a bit of a story of a Dr. Holmes who had offered her a place to stay in his hotel when she had come to Chicago to the World's Fair. Now that many years ago, and so they're like, that seems odd. And she talked about how endlessly she had run from him and the terrifying nature of it. And then she'd gone to sleep. Afterwards, we had seen the mortal roommate of our Motley that lived at this spot come in, and she was exciting. But it was decided that this young lady, something was up with her. So we called the courts and called in particular the Court of Summer, in which Embers, the prince of that court, had said, "Oh shit, Holmes, Dr. Holmes, you say that's not good. That's really bad. You need to bring her here soon as she gets up, and I'm gonna send someone to guard the place along with you." And had asked, who is he? And look up on Google. You'll be able to find him there. Oh shit, this is bad. And meanwhile, they had looked him up and found out he was not a pleasant person. In fact, in the about 1887, 88, he had created a hotel where he lured young ladies in and tortured and murdered them. He was America's first serial killer and a truly horrific person. And there was some even mystery about his death, as he was sealed up without a viewing in a concrete casket. But apparently he was out again, out there in the hedge, and now trying to come back here. Our Motley, because, it's what you do, had split up. It was decided that two of them would go and investigate where once this hotel was, and they'd found that there was a clinic there and had begun moving around it, picking up some odd things that, like realities, were overlapping. People that were living near it were in considerable states of emotion. And then at the end of that, the back doors did open, and a gentleman in a bowler hat in silhouette had stepped out. "Oh, my dear, I told you the rooms are very reasonable. Come, stay a while." And that's where we'd ended. Now, I left out a few things that I'm sure some folks might want to throw in there. So I'm going to start off with you, Patrick. Why don't you introduce your character and anything in that might have been missed?
So I'm playing Ditto, who's a Darkling Wintercourt mirror skin changeling. He was taken in a creepy traveling wax museum and used to model the various patrons so that they could be carved in wax and have their souls slowly leached away through their dreams, or some such nonsense. He's here now. He's part of this motley. He's a little scattered and fractured in his mindset, and as far as last time, did we talk about the dream encounter with Holmes?
I didn't mention that one, no.
So yeah, the girl that we pulled out of the hedge, Keen had decided to try some dream work on her because she was all like passed out / comatose / real sad from being trapped for forever in a murder maze. And that went super great, where Keen, got trapped along in there with her with this like big black shadow entity. And then I decided it would be the best idea to not tell anyone else and also go join the dream. And there was like big nasty looking Dr. Holmes there, and managed to scare him for long enough for Keen and the girl to get out. But he's unpleasant in the dream world.
All right. And Matt, why don't you introduce your character and anything you'd like to add?
I'm playing Keen. Keen is a air elemental of the Spring Court and of Zephyrborn Kith. She's a Finnish immigrant, a flute-playing prodigy who was taken to be the pet musician of an orchard-keeping fae in their, just basically being the wind that would play their chimes and their little flute-like instruments in their gardens. And I'm fairly young, in my early 20s, a little bit overwhelmed by the whole city thing, but I seem to be okay at this whole dream magic thing, although last time didn't go super great. But I think that I think this is my true gift and my calling, or at least one of them, because I have several. I guess last time I'm kind of getting my bearings a little bit and sort of using my spiteful anger at this man, because I sort of have this vicarious feeling through Clara, the woman who we had brought back. That's her name, Clara. She's a sweet lass, and I'm sort of taking up my cause to fight for her, I suppose. So I was trying to connect with her a little bit last time. My roommate Nadia didn't really get it, and we're kind of keeping that whole thing on the down low, which apparently we have done successfully so far. But I guess the only thing I have to add is I remember the interesting fact that all of the women specifically that live on the grounds of where H.H. Holmes' hotel once was, and now there's an asylum and some assorted homes there. All of the women were seeing him in their dreams and feeling this feeling of the inability to escape and being trapped and endlessly wandering through their dream labyrinths or whatever. So he's still affecting all of those people, and we're, I guess, there now. Great.
Excellent. And Chris, want to introduce your character and add anything you might remember?
Sure. I'm playing Humorous Pete, a rot eater beast. He is the so far he seems to be the responsible one of the group. He is the one with the den that encompasses almost all of Navy Pier. Everybody seems to crash at his place most of the time, which is, both convenient for him and also kind of infuriating at times. He is sort of a middling official of Summer Court, nothing special, no real position. He's just there. He's not quite bottom of the barrel, but he's not top of the barrel either. He is, last time we contacted, Pete was the one who initiated contact with the Summer Court to get some extra information and to let them know that this stuff was coming. He didn't really know anything about Dr. Holmes until Ambrose had mentioned that they should look him up. After they looked him up, we had that little episode on Google, and that was the least pleasant Google search of all time. After that, Pete chose to remain behind since the Summer Court was sending someone over to act as security, and he doesn't really. It's one thing for the Motley to be there. It's another thing for some random person from the Summer Court to be wandering around his house. So he stayed behind. And after a little while after they had left, Songbird Rex showed up, who was one of the big heavy hitters. And Songbird Rex is at this point patrolling the grounds around Navy Pier, around the den. And we'll see how that goes. That surely having a large semi-dinosaur stomping around on a pier over a lot of water that's certainly going to turn out just fine, I'm sure.
Can I ask you, Chris, or if anyone wants to chime in, do you remember a little something that you'd learned about Holmes and perhaps his reason for doing this?
There was a little bit of discussion in the dream, and I think, if I remember right, Ditto had actually puzzled more of this out and maybe Keen had a little as well, that he had specifically mentioned that, or somebody had discovered that he seemed to be attempting to mimic to the point of actually mimic a keeper to the point of hopefully actually becoming one. Like that seemed to be what he was after, the kind of thing he wanted to do. He hadn't gotten to that position yet. It looks like he was basically he had built himself a little hedge pocket dimension type thing to drag people into, but he hadn't gotten to the point of reaching it into Arcadia yet, was the impression I got.
If I could add a tiny bit, I think I remember that part of his goal was to entrap his keeper in their own maze labyrinth type thing so that either he could replace them or something. But he is a changeling currently. That's
and also one of the things that might have been happening, and I'm not sure if we ironed out if this was exactly what had happened or not, was that there was a suggestion that his keeper might actually be trapped in there somewhere.
Yeah, it was like that was what was sort of powering his efforts and his ability to do what he was doing. We sort of puzzled that out because Clara, the woman that we rescued from the hedge, is fully and completely human. Like, not being a keeper, he wasn't actually able to transform the people he took into changelings. So they've just been trapped for decades or more in this endless hell maze, unable to die, but unable to become something that could cope with the situation either. So that's fun.
Excellent. Now, Darren, would you like to introduce your character, and any questions from all of this you might have, feel free to ask.
Yes. I am playing Ash Nickel, a wizened changeling who was tasked with recording every little thing his keeper wanted, which was usually lies. With Ash looks like your typical 40-something tattooist who's covered in tattoos. And they're kind of obsessed with like their perceived objectivity of truth and like knowledge, empirical knowledge. What else? Oh, apparently Ash is very task oriented, which I guess follows. And I think that covers it, right?
Okay.
6.
Any questions you might have from what happened last time for these folks?
I don't think so. That was pretty comprehensive. Okay. So we found out that Holmes probably trapped their keeper in this like maze type of dream, and then they were using that to kidnap. Okay. Yeah. So there's like a true fae running around, and also a serial killer. That sounds great. Sounds good.
All right. So I think we're going to start this session. And if it were a TV show, it would be one of those 12 hours ago at the bottom of the screen, as we see Pete and Ditto and Keen jump through this haze gate. And Ash, as you move up to follow, the vines close back around.
It's very rude.
You have your thorn, which you had come into to get so it could be able to make tattoos for a particular task you were sent for. But they've dipped off and left you. And you sort of, look around and, I don't know, maybe sort of thing. But as you're looking around, you can see a light coming down the hedgerow towards you. And you can hear the sound of bells, chimes. What do you do?
Are these good friendly bells?
They sound upbeat, a kind of Tinkerbelly sound.
Oh man. Let's see. I want to try and, no, I don't know. I don't want to mess with bells in the hedge. I'm scared. I want to try and find a way out.
All right.
Running for it. I'm running.
All right. You Are you going to try and jump out of the hedge, you think? Or do you think you're going to try and just run through the hedge away from this?
Yeah, I think I'm just running through the hedge. Yeah, I don't want to jump through. No, I'm gonna look for a door. We're being very clear about this.
All right. I forgot to ask if everybody has up your character keeper. I'm imagining hopefully we do. And we also have our roll for your party, which is on the basics move tab. You'll find it. Is it at the bottom or it's at the side, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. And Darren, if you would, why don't we have Ash roll an escape roll here?
Okay.
Matthew makes a good point about highlighting entanglements.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. Thank you. And let me explain this real quick to you, Darren. What we decided last time is we've got those rivals that give you an XP. But there's something that in playtesting with LOL, and it's not hitting. We're not getting them out. So instead, what I think we'd like to do, and I'll come to you last, that way you can see everybody else do it since they've done it once before, is you look through all of your entanglements and choose one you'd really like to see get hit. Something interesting, and we're going to try and pull it in. I managed to pull one in last time, but we know they're there. It's a flag. And if we get it in, then you're going to get an XP off of that. It'll be that interaction as though it were the rival. And you can choose your rival if you want. It could be from any of the three. And afterwards, anyone who helps kind of push this along, anyone who's supporting getting that out there, helping you hit your flag, hit your note on that, they also can get an XP. And you'll be able, whoever hits their entanglement will then give out to someone, hey, you really helped me out here, and give an XP out for that. So, Patrick, your entanglement, we didn't hit last time completely. We did get to see your dear friend Songbird, but we didn't really hit your entanglement. Do you wish to keep it the same? And if so, tell us what that is.
Actually, I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit to more like follow what we actually have going right now. So since Songbird's around, I'm gonna switch it to my romantic entanglement of I lied repeatedly to get close to Legion's Lost, but their lover Songbird Rex suspects the truth, and it was where I've been imitating various and sundry Winter Court members who have jobs that keep them close to Legion's Lost, and like doing their job for a day secretly, and Songbird sort of caught on to that a little bit.
That's not stalky at all.
No, it's normal. It's fine. It's definitely not illegal either.
All right, so you're switching over to that entanglement. Matt, we actually hit yours, but if you'd like, you can change. You could put another one, or we could delve more into Nadia. But up to you. What would you like to do?
Well, I've been thinking about the rival, and I because my rival is Beck and Call, who is the prince of my court, who wants to get some dirt on Autumn, basically. And I wonder if Darren, it seems like Ash is someone who is cooking things up, involved in projects of some kind. I wonder if just like intelligence on what you're doing would be like a good enough pledge from Beck and Call. I guess it needs to be specific, but it seemed like you were going to the Goblin Market, buying thorns, doing your own thing. So are you like doing Autumn stuff, or is this just personal stuff?
Yeah, I like that it's Autumn stuff.
Okay. So Tyler, does it seem like if that's the pledge that we need, is it just sort of relay all intelligence I would have about the ongoing Autumn projects to Beck and Call, just so he knows what's sort of happening?
Yeah, I would think that, if this rises to that level of, I think this is something that will help my court, that Beck and Call is interested in. And this, this could very well be. This is, going out into the hedge and getting some. This is the sort of stuff a spy would tell them. All right, so you want to hit that one.
We got mine last time, so that'll just be if it comes up. Great.
Cool. All right. Chris, we didn't hit your entanglement last time, but so you could keep it or you could change. What you thinking?
Let's see. I'm thinking I'm going to keep it, and let me highlight it again here. It is our I'm protecting Zetra Mercy, who is a Pitch Grinner Darkling of the Winter Court, from Abyssinian Max, who is a House Claw of the Winter Court. And basically, Max has been trying to set up various things to put the blame on Zetra for some things that Max had screwed up. And Pete's been sort of throwing monkey wrenches into that. And so I'd like to kind of highlight that. It sounds like we might actually get into maybe some of the big court stuff. So that might be a chance to sneak that one in.
Excellent. I think that's a cool idea. So, Darren, what you think?
I think that I want to do Singing Branches. My court superior believes I'm in the service of Ditto from the Winter Court.
Nice. Okay. So, with our entanglements highlighted, I come back to you, Ash, as you're running through the hedge. Behind you is the tinkling of bells. Need an escape. What are you feeling that you're... is it fear, or what do you think you're hitting with this to roll with?
Yeah, I think I'm doing scared. I think after grabbing the thorn, the weirdness with this woman, and then my motley abandoning me, no big deal, you guys, it's fine. And then these bells, I'm a little nervous, I'm a little scared.
All right, so roll with fear.
What's my fear? Oh, +1. 11.
All right. Oh, fantastic. You scoot down, and it sounds like that bell's sound kind of had stopped. Not like it ceased, you could hear it, but like it wasn't following. Like it had held up probably where you were. And so you had moved away and gotten around a corner. You can hear it distantly, but it doesn't seem like it's chasing you. What would you like to do now?
I'd like to get out of this gosh darn hedge and figure out what I'm doing with this thorn.
All right.
A big deal out of.
So as you're preparing to set off, you can hear just distantly back the way those bells in the distance. You hear a voice. They've taken her. I saw. Back to Chicago. Yes, I think so. Well, he can't hide from us for long. He's going to make a mistake. And then we'll free the mistress. Yes. And she will be ever so angry. As you move away, finding a thin piece of the hedge. And where would you, going through the hedge, want to pop out of? You're the one who had opened the hedge gate before, but generally you go back out the way you came in. So popping out would be now something where you're picking either. You could pick the other space, but that'll mean I'm probably going to have you have a roll to get out.
I think that I don't know exactly where I'm getting out, but if I have the choice as me, Darren, the player, let's make it interesting and say that I am coming out in the Spring Courts territory.
Ooh.
I'll make
All
mine.
right.
I don't need a roll.
Matt asking about going back to the Goblin Market, but it sounds like you want to get out, and I don't blame you.
Oh, yeah. No.
So
Goblin right now.
Then you tear through this thin part of the hedge, and you can feel as the thorns scratch at you coming through. You're doing it in such haste. Normally you would work something so the passage would be easier, but it definitely, you feel it pulling at your clothes as you back into Chicago. It is still night, which you would have expected, except you could kind of tell time has passed. It's later in the evening, probably closing in on morning. Which happens. There's time dilations a lot, especially when you really just are busting out. And you find that you are in the loop. And it's that time of evening, 2:30, when you see a lot of folks heading out of the bars. They don't look their best at this point. They're sweaty. Their clothes are mussed. Their hair's mussed. A lot of them are pretty drunk. And you also get that feeling coming from them of the sexual tension, the excitement. They found someone. It's 2:30. They're probably had bottom fed so that they're grabbing whoever was left at the bar, sort of thing. But, it's got that real debauched feel to it as you come out amongst these people. And as you step out, someone kind of runs into the back of you. Hey, buddy. And looking back, you see a girl in her early 20s, and she looks like she's drunk as drunk can be. And you have come out on a side street out of a doorway there, and she is behind you, seems to be pulling back up her panties for her dress where she has been squatting a pee here in the alley.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Can I get some privacy?
I think I'm very confused and very flustered. I'm just gonna ask her, where am I? Where are we?
Yeah, like I say, you're looking around, and I don't know, do you think that Ash is someone who goes and parties at the clubs in the Loop? The Loop is the center downtown. It's the big, clubby place. Is Ash a person that does that?
No way. Absolutely not. At best, he's maybe in the West Loop, but I don't know if he's even that trendy.
So, as you pop out, you can see these neon signs showing the name of clubs as she's hiking things up. Damn. And if you'd said, where are we, or in that kind of confusion, she's like, it's Domino Club. I mean, really? And she's like shoving by you. Perv.
Do I know what Domino Club is? Is there a way, can I recall? I don't go out in the Loop, but maybe this is an important spot, right?
Yeah. Why don't you tell me why you've heard of the Domino Club before? Is it something to do with the Changelings, or does it have some reputation you've heard of? But yeah, tell me why the Domino Club is important.
Oh, I know why it's important. It definitely has to do with Changelings, and I think it's where a Great Glamour Garden. That sounds cool. I was thinking it's where it's where Changelings. I think they're smuggling goblin goods, and they're selling it in the not hedge world. So go in and get drugs, but it's some goblin fruit.
Okay. Do you think it's Ash knows that because you've gone there to pick up odd things on occasion, or some other reason?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this ties into everything I'm doing. What I'm doing for Autumn is there's just all these disparate pieces, right? So it's going into the hedge and getting stuff. I'm probably working with this gray market and dealers there. So yeah, I guess maybe I was confused about the Loop, but hearing the Domino Club and seeing the sign, what is the neon sign? It's a domino piece that's falling over and over again.
Oh yeah, I like that.
It's blinking. Yeah, so I probably recognize that. I probably have some contacts there. Oh, I want to duck into the Domino Club now.
As
Give
you
us safety.
as you duck in, the music has changed to that we're closing music, so it's like nothing anyone would want to hear anymore. You know, it's like, you know, some sad maudlin 70s country music song, you know, Eddie Rabbit or somebody. It's, you know, it's the sort of thing that we're driving you out of the club music. And as you duck in, and as you sort of said you wanted it, you're trying to come out in Springs territory.
Well, I don't know about trying, but maybe if that makes it interesting.
Seemed more interesting. I like that. Okay. So as you kind of duck in, the place is emptying out. Behind the bar, you recognize someone that you know is like a contact if you're needing something. He could tell you that. But as you walk in, you hear a kind of chipper, happy voice going, "You've missed out, Ash. I think everyone's gone." And as you look over, you see Semolina Pilchard there, who is sort of the mistress of ceremonies of this particular spot.
Semolina, are you just gonna sit there? What's the guy got to do to get a drink around here?
Come on, Ash. It's after business hours. Are you looking for something? Or, and she kind of glances as a rather drunken couple start moving out towards the door, or someone in particular.
I gonna ask. I want to follow up on that, but I'm thinking. Well, if not a drink, maybe you can give me some information.
Well, everything's up for sale. And she'll move you over to the bar. And we're going to halt there. And we're going to cut back over to Pete. Pete, you've been laying there. I believe you'd said you were kind of lying on the couch, you know, in that state of nap a bit, make sure everything's okay, nap a bit. Wasn't that what you were doing?
Yeah, basically dozing in and out.
All right. As you're kind of drifting off, and you know, all of this is weighing on your mind, all of this going on, you find yourself dreaming. You're in this hallway. There's wood paneling. You can see these ornate sconces, that's right, with their little lamp shades on them. Inside is a gas light. On the floor is this long floral carpeting. There's doors on either side. But as you're looking in here, you hear the sounds from down the hall and from the T-junction behind you of running feet and a high-pitched sort of of fear.
Okay. Pete's going to try and pinpoint where the noise is coming from. Does it sound like multiple voices or just one voice making that noise?
It sounds like, hearing back at the T-junction, it sounds like one continuing down the hall. There's just almost this ambient sound of running feet. So that could be many. It could be an effect of the echo. Of course, it could be just the dream.
I think he's going to head to the T-junction and like look both ways down there and see if he can see anything.
As you reach down there, you can just see at the end of the hallway, turning a corner, the back skirt of a dress. You could hear that running, that looking back the other way. The hall is all empty, and it has that sort of weird, like it almost goes on forever look to it. Just that very
that sort of sprawling, like dreamscape thing. Okay,
right.
Okay. What I think I want to try and do is Pete has a move called Sniffer. he is going to try and keep an eye out for trouble. When he does that, I roll, and I hold based on how good a roll I make. And then I can spend those holds 1 for 1 to ask various questions.
Oh, that's cool.
So Pete's definitely I'm definitely keeping an eye out for trouble, because.
Then what are you feeling, you think, for this role?
Well, I think this is probably touching on fear. Like, this is, this place seems to be like, especially with that, with the noise and the running, that seems to be a fear trigger, and I think that's what Pete's reacting to.
All right, so rolling with fear.
Okay, that's an 11.
Ooh, fantastic! So that's going to give you 3 hold.
Yep.
You can spend 1 now if you want, or you can just continue action. You get to pull them out as you go.
Let's see. First, who or what here is not what they seem.
These hallways, this space, there is something lurking almost alive in this place. This is not a structure. This is some sort of being.
Okay, so we're in some sort of what might be a psychic construct of some sort inside somebody. Okay.
Right.
Uh,
and it's vast. I mean, you can tell that this is. I don't know how familiar you are. Like, say, Keen will go into dreams. I don't know how much Pete does that.
No, that's not really a Pete thing. He's heard Keen talk about it, but he just it's like, okay, well, that doesn't sound like anything I want to get into.
So this feels very much like where you're recognizing, okay, everything around me it's a someone. It's a vast, enormous someone. And it's distinctive from that girl, that skirt.
Okay.
Whatever was running there is not a part of it. This is some vastness around it.
Okay. The second question I'm going to ask now, and then I'm going to hold the third for later, is what here is the greatest danger to me?
As you are looking around from that long, long hallway, at the far end, you can see like the shadows moving. And as they do, one of them begins to stretch down the hall in your direction. You can't see the figure that casts it, but it's as though a light behind it, and you can distinctly make out as it's stretching towards you a bowler hat on the shadow as it's moving.
Oh, I fucking hate bowler hats. Max wears that shit. Oh no. Okay. All right. Pete's going to attempt to move after the girl and avoid the shadow. And he is going to try. Pete's special sense is scent. So he's going to try and use that to see if he can get a bead on where the girl, whoever she is.
All right. You begin chasing off after, and the smell of fear, I mean, it's just wafting into you. You can smell the sweat and desperation of her as she's running. Underneath it is this faint smell of like smoke and maybe a bit of lilac. And as you turn that corner, you can see her running down another enormous long hallway. She's not, she's 40, 50 feet from you running. And as she looks back, and as though she doesn't see you. It's that she's looking back in fear, but doesn't seem to notice you.
Okay. I think he's going to head in her direction and try to catch up with her.
All right. I think that for you, it's not going to be hard to catch up with this girl. I mean, you're a
Hyena person.
hyena type person here. You move quickly down this hall to where you get to her. What do you do when you get to her?
Okay. When I get to her, has she reacted to me catching up to her at all?
Does not seem to have seen you, and it's not like you're hiding. It's like, and when she looks over her shoulder, it's like she looks through you.
Okay. Now that I've caught up with her, does she seem physical to me? Like, does it look like I could physically interact with her, or is
Yes,
she
it
some
does.
sort of okay? What now? I'm going to ask my third question. What is my best way the heck out of here?
To wake up, to force yourself awake, to realize I am in this dream. I have to wake up.
Okay. I think what Pete's going to try and do here is he's going to try and catch her, stop her from running, and then he's going to say, grab her and say, "We have to wake up," and then he's going to try and basically force them both to wake up.
All right.
Let's see if that works.
As you reach out, you grab, and she is physical, and as you grab her, she seems to see you, to notice you for the first time, and she, he's coming. He's coming.
You have to wake up. This is a dream. This is a dream place. Wake up. You have to wake up.
And as she's crying. I would like for you to roll a
like inner turmoil, or
I think it's inner turmoil.
Okay. All right. And
no, I'm sorry. It's a stay strong.
Stay strong. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
What are you feeling for that?
I think right now, Pete is probably at this point angry, because this is the same stuff that he had just heard about from Clara. This is playing right into that, and this is making him angry. So he's going to roll with angry right now.
All right.
And that is a 3 on the dice plus 2. That makes it a 5. So he's losing. I think what's happening from his perspective is he's getting mad enough to try and take this thing on, whatever it is.
All right. As you start to steel yourself, she looks at you. He's not going to let another one of us get away. She looks back over your shoulder. He's here. We're going to switch over to we've got Ditto, and we have shucks, I'm so sorry. Keen.
No problem.
And the two of you are staring at the back door, the silhouette of that man as he is beckoning you to come in. Keen, what are you doing?
I would like to channel and collect my energies of the air around me so that I have some hold to use if stuff goes down.
Excellent. All right, roll. What are you rolling with, you think, there?
I think this is fear. I think I'm spooked.
I agree.
Ooh, that's no good. That is a 6.
Patrick, what is Ditto doing?
So just so you know, on a miss, I hold 1, but I cannot channel again this scene. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. Cool. So you do have 1, and we'll see if maybe there's a support action that falls in here, but there may not. You still got your 1.
I'm trying to grab her arm and run.
All right.
No, you don't go into the strange doors that the strange men beckon. That's how this all started, damn it.
So as you reach down and you're grabbing Keen and pulling at Keen, you're trying to summon this in. The figure steps down, and as you're pulling in this wind, like a vacuum, it's being sucked back in through the doors behind him and into that hotel. Oh, you will be a breath of fresh air, won't you?
Don't like that.
I'm just tugging on her arm. No, we can't. We can't go near. No, we have to leave. It's bad. It's very bad. He's very bad.
Do you wish to run, Keen? What are you? It looks very much like Ditto is trying to bolt.
I'm trying to do an escape move.
Right. You going to hold against that, or are you going with him?
I'm deciding whether I should use Call Element to try and like shut the doors on him or push him back into the thing, or if I should strike at him and start attacking because I'm angry.
Oh.
I could see trying to attack a keeper or something close to it as inner turmoil if you want to let the dice decide how you feel right now.
Yeah, that's I like that. If there's a way I could let the dice decide.
All right then. So roll that inner turmoil, and you said sounds like you're angry.
I think I am angry, so this is just going to be a straight roll. Boom. That's a 6. So I think I do not. My inner turmoil. Well, I guess we didn't really set the conditions of what that would be. What do you think failure means?
Well, for inner turmoil, with a failure, let's say for 7 to 9, you flee the scene, mark clarity, or mark a condition until you change, and mark a condition until you change the situation. I think that in this sense, that despite your anger, I think you're scared. I think you're going to run, and I do think that as Keen is pulling you, and this man is reaching out, you can see the shadows from his hand extending out far from his form, coming towards that gate that you're at. And as Ditto, you pull that hand, just barely, the shadow of it just barely grazes your cheek. And when it touches you, you can sense the longing, the desire, and the hunger that man has. And I'd like you to mark a clarity.
Nice.
And it sounds like you, Ditto, are attempting to escape.
Yes, very much. Please run. Not here.
And I think this will probably get to apply for the two of you here.
I was wondering, though, since I do have a hold and I failed and I'm really scared, if I could do a bad thing, if he bombs this roll, if I can teleport away and leave Ditto there alone by himself, that could be really fun, too.
I love that.
Fun. No, that sounds amazing. I mean, I'm definitely rolling in fear.
Okay.
It's a mighty +0. Jesus, that's a 4.
Well, after last time, where you were all rolling like 10 after 10 after 10 after 10, it was time.
Hey, we get XP on miss.
And you do get XP. I did mean to mention that.
Oh, right.
So, as you yank back, Keen, and this hand, this shadow, just barely misses, and it drops down to the ground. Suddenly, Keen is no longer there, and you're all alone. Ditto. It seemed like he couldn't have had time, but now, just on the other side of the bars of this fence, you see that man, you see Holmes. Young man, you've taken my prey.
Do I need to mark anything or anything?
Well, yeah, I think you should probably mark your. Let's put a condition on what you rolled with. I think that's
all right. I think he's. I think Ditto is just like paralyzed. Like he's terrified standing there. And I think he's gonna do the only thing that like comes as a reaction, which is to mirror someone. So he's gonna look like Holmes.
as you do that.
Well, it's
you got to roll.
Oh yeah. It's my mimic move. It's not calm. Yeah. I mean, this is keeper stuff and inbuilt instinct, so I'll go with power.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Well, better than it was.
True.
It will not stand up for close inspection, but will pass for time. For those who know your subject slightly, he sort of knows himself. But as he looks at you, his eyes widen. Oh, would you care to share in my hunt, young man? I've known other talented sorts who've helped me in the past.
Help you?
Bring me what you took from me. And the other one. She smelled wonderful.
The other one?
And he's pointing right to where Keen had just disappeared from. She will provide me much entertainment.
Provide you?
I have been wanting one of our kind. She would be magnificent.
Not
how she
my
would
kind.
run.
You're not my kind.
And yet, and he motions at you looking just like him. You can feel it. Come with me. Bring me what I want, and I will reward you. You will be a prince in my castle.
Yeah, no, not. I don't like that. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to think of what to do. I don't like any of this.
I don't imagine there's any temptation you're feeling to do this. When I said it, I didn't imagine you were going to go, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. But
actually, I have my Know the Shadows move, and I think standing here reflecting and mirroring him is a great chance to try and study him, and there's a good question to help me get out.
Excellent. All right then. Well then, so what are you feeling? What are you rolling with?
Well, fear, but it's not fear. So I guess sorrow, that's closely there. I feel real bad about myself and my situation.
I can see it.
Jeez. That's also an 8.
All right. What do you get off of an 8?
Which is study, so I think it's 1 question. Yeah, 1 hold, and then I also have a free question.
Yes.
Which what's my best way out? I like that one.
You've noticed that while he's gotten right up to the edge of this, and that shadow is, now that you're kind of looking around, you see his shadow hands have sort of moved up to where they're on either side of you. But you feel certain he can't actually leave there. So the best way out would be get away from where you are, make some distance. Your other question?
Yeah, so his obsession with Clara and getting her back, does that seem like a psychological level of like, this thing is mine and I'm not gonna let it go? Or does that seem like on a metaphysical level he's existentially worried about not getting this prisoner back? Like it's doing something to him?
There is very much that overriding, what was mine has been taken, I've lost a possession, is really how he feels. But along with that, he's attached to her. He's invested a power into the fact he had her. Does that seem fair? Does that answer the question, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, with this knowledge, what are you doing?
Running a lot. Very far away. That
You
way.
turn
Away from the door.
to flee as these hands behind you, and you could feel them like grab the back hem of your pants. You'll be back, young man. I know it. As you kind of look over your shoulder in fear as you're running, he's gone. Those doors are open as you see two, looks like nurses, walking out, heading over to their car.
And I think as he's running, he's just like panting to himself over and over again, like, know it, know it, know it. And just becomes like, no, 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 as he's running away.
Keen, where did you disappear to?
I think not very far away. Like the spell basically says like within a short distance within the scene. So I think I'm just like around the corner, and as soon as he like comes over panting, I just kind of like reapparate next to him maybe or something, or just like step out behind a hedge or something.
And get shot. No, all right. And so I think we'll switch scene as you're stepping out, seeing Ditto running, chanting this no, no, no. As we come back to you there, Ash, Semolina has put a drink down in front of you, and information. What sort of information are you wanting, Ash?
God, I don't know. I think that I'm just gonna wait. Well, hold on. Let me think here. Where am I? What state of mind am I in? I still don't know where anyone's at.
That's true.
What's going on? How much time has passed? It has been like a few days before the in between two sessions.
It is not. You, as a matter of fact, looking down at, they've got a clock behind the bar. It looks like you've been in the hedge for maybe 8 hours. It's now, like I say, 2:30, and you're pretty sure it's the same day.
Okay. This is Semolina. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ask after Keen because I don't know. I'm trying to be stealthy. Have you heard from Keen recently?
She sort of raises her eyes. Well, no, but rumors have already hit me that your little friends have found someone. Are you trying to I'm always in the loop, Ash. You don't have to be cagey with me. The prince already knows, and we're looking into it. You have no clue what she's talking about.
Cinnamolina, I know the Domino Club is in the loop. I know you're always in the loop. I get it. Well, yeah, I'm sure that was part of the plan. We were handing this one off to you, Spring Court.
Well, I thought you were handing it to Summer. Embers is certainly the one that got in touch with Beck and Cole, I believe. That's Spring Court Prince, right? Yeah. Got in touch with Beck and Cole. When are you planning to bring her over? I know that Beck would love to hear.
In due time. You know, court proceedings, papers to file. Can't just show up at someone's door.
Well, I have to say it's raised all of your profiles. Bringing back a human from the hedge?
What?
Impressive. Is she not as human as I'm hearing?
Well, surely it's a changeling that came out of the hedge.
Ooh, that's not what the word is. Come on, spill the tea, honey.
Cinnamon, how about you spill your tea first? I don't want to, you don't want to make too big of a mess. One tea at a time.
Beck is definitely interested in what's going on. I don't know if you've spoken to your friends, but it's not like we're going to let Summer keep this girl to themselves. We've got to all take a look. And if it really is a keeper trying to get back into Chicago, well, we all have to work together now, don't we? Plans within plans within plans, honey.
Cinnamolina had no idea you were putting the community first.
I am just a servant of Chicago. For a fee, of course.
Oh, then maybe you can help me out and get me out of the loop. Get me to the pier. Quick as you can. Maybe.
You need a taxi. Oh, and she sort of just exasperatedly motions over. Call Ash a cab. And she pats you on the hand. Ash, when you have more to tell me, I pay. Always pay. And she will stand up and start moving away. I'll even get the cab tonight. Toodles. It's only a short time before the cab arrives, and you are whisked back to. You're heading. Are you heading off to Pete's place? You would know where it is, and that's what it sounded like, off to the pier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hoping to meet up with somebody.
All right, and as you come riding back, you'll see standing, not particularly hiding, just sort of leaning against the wall, is Songbird Rex. And as you get out of the cab, he comes over. He's got up his mask for the people. You could see him. He's in the NPCs. He's big and butch looking, and you could kind of see the overlay of his mask, which is, I think I described him as Lex Luthor or Lex Luger if you ever watch, or Triple H if you watch wrestling, or He-Man. That's what he looks like. He's got long blonde hair and lots of muscles. And as you come up, he sort of nods, as though recognizing that you're part of this motley that stays here. I'll come back to you if you wish to speak to him, but I want to hear what's going on with you, Pete.
Okay, after that last roll, did was there any other consequence of the miss on that?
As she says, he's here. You look back. standing at the end of this hall, you see, I don't think you've seen Holmes before.
No, I haven't.
So you see this man, we have his picture up there, his bowler hat.
Oh, I think I did see him on Google. Like I saw a picture, the old Google picture. So if that looks like him.
That looks like him. And he's, charming, dapperly dressed. And he has this little small smile on his face. Oh, a guest. Will you be staying long?
I think Pete looks at him. And if this is Pete's dream self, he's in that impeccable suit. His pristinely perfect suit. He says this. No, I'm not.
You have something of mine, sir. I would like it back.
Oh, I've got something for you, all right. And Pete springs at him.
All right.
Claws out.
Excellent. This sounds like we're going into conflict.
Yeah, that's what from Pete's perspective, he blew that roll because he got so pissed off that he just wants to go into this guy. He doesn't really want to get away.
All right. So what you feeling? Is this anger?
Oh, I'm sure it's anger.
All right.
Now the question I have for you is, I don't think this triggers the becomes the hunter thing yet, because I don't think I've doubled back on him.
No, I don't think so either. He's been following you.
Yeah, I think I'm just jumping at him like straight into conflict. So
okay.
All right. So let's see how that goes. Holy mackerel, that's a 14.
Oh, well, hell. So you get to pick 3.
All right. Okay.
And I don't think we've done conflict, so people at home, that's inflict harm. You could choose harm, decide which condition they mark. You can avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. You can get what you want from them. You gain advantage. You create an opportunity for you or your allies. You expose a weakness or flaw. You confuse them for some time, or you extricate yourself from the situation.
Okay. Here's what I want. I get to pick 3. I want to get what I want from them, which is that girl. I want to extricate myself from the situation. And I want to avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
All right. So
those are my 3.
All right. So you're describing kind of leaping at him, but it sounds like actually the things you're wanting are a little different than that leap. So would you like to, why don't you describe what happens there as you move into it?
I think here's what happens. Pete springs at him, and this is his place of power, so he's not worried about Pete hitting him, but he also doesn't want to have his suit messed up. So he basically the dream shifts, like the perspective spins, so that when Pete lands, he's not there. He's not at the spot where Pete lands. He's like right beside him, looking dapper and smug about it. And
excellent.
And when Pete hits down, Pete is operating on beast level at this point. So his senses, he's not keying on what he's seeing. He's keying on smell. He knows where the guy is. So Pete basically just boots him through one of those doors. No, it's not really harming him because this is his dream world. Like it doesn't harm him to go through his own door. So he staggers. He's off balance. He staggers through one of the doors. He's suddenly in one of the other rooms. And at that point, what I think happens, and you tell me if this might be something he would do, is that surprised him enough to where he basically drops. He tries to basically, kick Pete out. And okay. When he does that, Pete tumbles. Pete starts, tumbling away. Maybe effectively falling down a hole or something like that. But as he reaches back and he grabs the girl.
Okay, how about I go with this then?
Okay.
As you kick him and he hits this door and it tumbles open and he seems surprised. And as you see through the doorway, it's this beautiful hotel room. There are flowers everywhere. and you see a woman, her back to you. She has this long white dress, almost like a wedding dress, and this sort of veil over her head, and she's moving in the room. As he tumbles in, she turns her face to look, and it is completely blank porcelain white. As he says, "Oh, mistress, don't disturb yourself. Everything is fine. Just fine." As he is distracted by this, that hallway, where the girl is, you could run down, grab her. At the end of it, it isn't that endless stretch. You see a window, and through it, you can see the skyline of Chicago.
I think Pete's gonna try to go through the window with the girl.
You grab her and leap through, smash, glass shatters, as you hear behind, "No, no, mistress, I'll send something to you. You shouldn't be bothering yourself." And as the glass shatters and you leap from the window, you see him back out of the door, closing it, and look down towards you. And all of that kind of charm is gone. His teeth are long and jagged. And coming out of his head, you see these horns rise up. But you, through the smashing glass, begin falling with her. And then it's that sort of feeling of when you wake up from a dream falling. And she's there on your chest. You see her. She's young, 21, 22. But as you're looking at her, and her eyes are wide, she is absolutely terrified. You see the first wrinkles begin to appear at her eyes and her mouth.
And then
Pete's
gonna scramble to figure out if he can see if he can remember what the hell Ditto did last time.
And so we're gonna cut over to I think it sounds like we may be all coming together, which is something I'm sort of hoping for. So we're gonna take our break here in just a moment. I want to ask Keen and Ditto, are y'all heading back home from here? Are y'all going like to a diner to get some nice hash browns and eggs, or what are y'all thinking?
No, I'm going where the large angry hyena man that protects us lives.
I'm also doing this after furiously apologizing to Ditto.
I love that you think there's an after, that you could apologize enough. Just disappeared.
Well, maybe you're gonna... I'll do my best.
And so with a bit of rancor between the two of you, you rapidly head back to where there's some traffic, flag down a cab, and head back towards the pier. Ash, as you see Songbird there sort of nod to you, and Ash?
Songbird, what are you doing on the pier?
Watching out. What you've got should be protected. Pete called us in.
Pete called you in? There's this whole motley, and Pete's calling in summer games? Songbird, you can go home now.
We take care of our own in summer. Autumn.
Yeah, well, we don't need to be taken care of. Go, get.
He's sort of, well, let's see. Why don't we have you, that sounds like a conflict.
Ooh, conflicting, yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to enforce your will on someone.
Yeah. My social will.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you feeling? What do you think's the stat you're going to use for that?
I think I want to do angry. I'm annoyed and irritated and frustrated because shit's not right. Why is there a human coming out of the hedge? That's a big old +0. We will. I got a 5.
All right. He sort of. I don't take orders from Autumn. We're here to watch out for things. Why don't you just shuffle on back inside? And I think I'm going to have you mark that what you rolled with as a condition there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can. He sort of has risen up, and I mean, he's giving off that you can't really fuck with me. Come on here, so that you kind of move back to the door and head in, if that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I think from inside, you probably hear a surprised sort of where's Ditto sort of thing from Pete, and a young lady start screaming. And that, I think, is where we're going to take our first break. If y'all don't mind, we'll do about, let's go ahead and do 7 minutes, just so we'll have it come back at an even time. So we'll be back at 9:35 and have our group back together again. See y'all in a few. Well, everybody back together. That's always good.
This is slightly easier, I'm sure.
I like splitting parties, but it's always nice to get the party back together again, and so things can get straightened out.
Well, the triple split, man, that's hard to manage. Yeah, I was amazed at how well you kept that part together. I've never tried to split it that many ways.
I thought it went well. Everybody's so good, though. It's so easy when everybody's so good.
I had no idea what I was doing.
That's what makes it so great because Ash didn't have any idea what was going on. That was perfect.
Yeah. I thought about pushing more, like just collecting these things, but I was like, no, I don't want to like go off on my own. It's not fun or interesting. That would make it just a longer road to bring it back in. So I was like, all right, we're abandoning ship. We're going back home.
That I was thinking like the whole time. It's like, well, I'm sure that it's at various points throughout the history of this Motley. I'm sure Ash has probably ditched us more than a couple of times when we were doing crap that he was like, that's stupid. I'm not doing that.
I think it's very true, unfortunately. I'm very busy.
And plus, this Motley's probably prone to doing at least a couple of stupid things, every week.
How did I end up with all of you?
Yeah, we get ourselves into a lot of trouble.
I think you thought you were fixing us. I think that was it.
Oh yeah. That's right. All right, yeah. I'm like these guys. They don't lie to me. These guys tell no lies. That's what it was.
They're too bad at lying.
Or if they did lie, man, would it be obvious?
All right, so we'll give Matt a second to get back. I think we're definitely having a nice October creepy series.
The Devil in the White City was a good pick.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
That like, if you guys look at the, obviously you know about it, Tyler, but if anyone else didn't know about it, did you look at the hotel castle thing? It's like wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
I believe Leonardo DiCaprio is going to end up playing Holmes in a movie coming up very soon.
Oh, interesting.
They're adapting Devil in the White City and doing Leo as Holmes and someone else pretty famous as the other side of that story, which is the guy who designed the White City, the exposition.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, it's told from his perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I read like a little bit of it, but I never finished it. I need to go read it.
It's a good book. All right, let's. I think it's would be this time then. The Ash, you're hearing this noise and go in.
And there's Pete there, and just this woman screaming.
And she's getting older visibly.
What the fuck is going on, Pete? Over the screams, I guess.
It's happening again. It's the same thing as before. This one was stuck in a dream with that guy, and holy shit, Ash! Where did you go?
Dream, man, can you stop screaming?
Help me! Pete starts staring down. I think Pete's just going to get panicky, and he's going to try and do something to stave off this aging business.
Okay. As you're starting that, the door at the back of the room opens, and you hear coming down there, "What the fuck?" And you see Nadia come running out, and she's got a knife in her hand, and she's like, "Somebody fucking with Claire." Pete, who the hell is she?
Another one from that same guy. Just go get some bandages, get something.
We should call the cops.
Get the bandages first, for God's sakes.
Bandages. And she goes running towards
okay, and then Pete immediately leans down, and I think he's going to call upon a contract, but it's a contract he's got an affinity with. He can't do that mirror skin business that Ditto can pull. So I think what he's going to have to try and do is something a little more primal. he is going to basically try to, in order to stave off this aging effect, he's going to try and infuse her with just the like primal energies that make up the beast, and use that to try and fight off this the time snap. And, and see how that goes.
All righty.
There's no way this can possibly go wrong, I'm sure. It's obviously.
All right, you're going to. What are you feeling to invoke this contract?
Whew. I would say this is probably fear. Like Pete is legit scared that he not only is she afraid, but Pete's afraid he's not going to be able to fix it. He was able to help Ditto last time, but he wasn't. You know, he didn't know he could. He didn't know if he could pull that off himself. So I think it's fear.
Okay, let's give it a roll.
That's a 10.
Damn. All right.
I don't know how I'm pulling that off, but this has got to backlash at some point. That is not going to last.
As you begin, you know, you're just almost like willing this energy to rise up in her, and she's frightened. She stops screaming. Partially because, you know, in a way, because Ash kind of came in and was like, just stop screaming sort of thing. And it caught her aback. And as this energy flows into her, you see it start to make this fire behind her eyes. This sort of will inside of her fighting. And while she doesn't go back to youth like it happened with when Ditto did this, you see her sort of pull herself together and in this almost force of will stop the aging. She very much looks to be a woman in her 40s. And that's from a woman in her early 20s when she came here, when you first saw her.
Okay.
Ash, what are you doing?
I think I'm like freaking out. I think I'm seeing this person like rapidly aging in front of me, and then seeing Pete like using this like contact, this like magic to like shove this willpower into her, and like seeing her like stop the aging, I think reminds me a lot of like a lot of the like shit that I went through physically.
Do you think it's triggering an inner turmoil?
Yeah, I think I'm hyperventilating.
All right. Well, why don't what are we rolling with? And you know, keep in mind it could be kind of the positive and the negative of one of these things.
That was interesting. Maybe calm. Oh wait, I'm looking at condition examples. Not calm. I'm thinking the opposite of calm.
Are you feeling it into anger, or is it power? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's power. It can't be anger because it's blocked off. But I think it's power, right? This idea that like these things happen to me so careless, or like what am I trying to say? I don't know. Yeah, I like power though. It reminds me of this whole thing, bringing back bad memories. I got another 5. Wow, you guys have cursed the roll for your partner. Thanks.
Oh, a 5. First off, I think I'm going to have you mark power.
Oh man, I'm losing all my conditions.
And I think that, you know, as you're seeing this, you're feeling this from Pete. I think it's you know, triggering those memories in a way that, you know, really is frightening to see Pete doing this. The object of what's happening here is Pete himself. So looking at him through this lens of this, it's very disturbing. It's something you've not seen probably, or seen in this way before. So it's not going to be it's not a mechanical hard move. It's more narrative of it. It has shown you something in Pete you haven't seen before. That sound fair? Does that seem like a good?
Yes, I like that a lot.
And I think that it's at this moment that, first off, Songbird Rex has opened up the door and come in because he heard the screaming too, and is looking around. And you, Ditto, are getting out of the cab where you see Songbird Rex in the doorway, and you see he's got a gun.
So yeah, as I'm stepping out, I've got my body between Keen and the building and everything. And before she could see what's going on, I just lean down and say, "Just promise me, next time you'll have my back."
I promise. Sorry.
So I think I'll go ahead and take a dead on you and step out of the way so you can see Songbird with a gun.
So the debt in this case, I mean, obviously makes a lot of sense, but mechanically, it's because you have sort of done me a favor by. I mean, like, I don't think that's the only way you should get debts. Like, I think I owe you a debt.
That is sort of backwards from how. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's backwards. It's just sideways. Like, I don't know. I mean, currently I have a debt on you, and I don't think that should happen because I just screwed you over bad. But I will definitely. Do I know? I probably has Songbird Rex come around before.
You've certainly seen him before, but not. He doesn't come to the den. No.
Okay. Well, I don't like.
Now, keep in mind, you two saw him there when you were leaving. The really kind of odd thing is that he has a gun and standing in the doorway. I mean, he looks like he's fixing to go in there loaded to bear. The tension here is you don't know why he's going in there armed.
Right. I mean, Keen's first instinct would probably be to just like scry at the distance or something, like try to hear what's happening inside or something, because she doesn't want to just go barging in unless Ditto would go first. But that's very not action oriented. I mean, I could just teleport inside the house too, to kind of try and maybe I'll just say that, like, I'll just tell Ditto, like, okay, maybe you go around the side and I'll head in and try and I don't know, I'll whisper to you if I need something through the air.
All right, but you're not running away, right?
No, I'm running forward.
Okay. I'll find some way around in through. I'll be behind you.
Great.
So, Keen, you're gonna jump. I don't think I'm gonna. While it's kind of a tension moment, I don't think a roll is what's necessary. That's not what'll fall out from it. Isn't exactly where I'm looking at the scene. So I think I'm gonna have you succeed in that jump straight in to the doorway, the other side of the doorway as he's coming in. Ditto, what are you doing? You say you're going around. What is your actions?
I think basically I'm creeping forward, trying to stay out of Songbird's line of sight. And like I'm trying to think of, the back door into the well-defended den, but then I'm realizing like that's not really a thing Pete does. So just because it's gone so great every time, I'm going to try and mimic one more time.
Oh, Lord. Who are you mimicking this time?
Well, I'm sure, at least in an official capacity, I've met Ember's Chow at some point.
Oh, fuck.
So yeah, her.
What are you feeling?
We'll go with I'm trying to feel calm. I am trying to like quiet my mind and take on a real impersonation, not just some like snap thing that I'm throwing up in the moment.
Let's see how that goes.
Oh, let's see how that goes. It's a 10.
Oh, very good. All right. So
10 plus, you're able to pass for a short time with those who know the person, and a long time with passing acquaintances.
do you? I just want to have you describe what's it look like when you change to someone else. Is it instantaneous? Is there something that happens?
I think it's that glowing and spinning and no. I think especially like in his mien, in his Fey changeling form, he's glittering and reflective a lot of the time, but there's just this like he catches the light, and sort of in the dazzle when you look over, suddenly he's that person.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, cool. And so you make this change. I'm going to cut back inside to just as Keen shows up there. We have you, Pete, who has seen Ash sort of freak over there. Girl is feeling kind of the power of it, and you could see she's just like deep in this conversation, trying to hold herself together. Coming around out of the kitchen, we have Nadia, who's got bandages that are now kind of falling away where she hasn't held on to them well. So there's like a string of them behind her. And she's got like Band-Aids in the other hand. Will Band-Aids help?
Maybe. Just set them right there. Get whiskey.
That I've got. And she heads back towards her room.
Okay.
Keen. Yeah, and the two of you, at Peach, you see coming in is Songbird. He's just, like pushed the door open and has a gun. What the fuck?
We got another one. And he's like holding, the girl's like right there.
I haven't seen you leave, Pete.
Yeah. I got pulled into whatever dream world that thing uses. I got pulled into it this time.
Yeah.
Wow.
What the fuck? And the gun swings over to Keen.
It's Keen. Hold on. She does that. Air touched. They do that.
He's looking down at Ash. He's seen this girl running around with bandages and going to be bringing back Whiskey, who he knows is immortal. All of this, he goes, this is it, Pete. Pack them up. We're getting the fuck out of here. Embers needs to see her now. Both of them, apparently.
They've got to get it together. We'll get them to Embers.
No more getting it together, Pete. We're leaving. And he kind of notices he's holding a gun on you and does a,
look,
we're leaving.
Look, I appreciate what you're saying. And I want you to appreciate this. This is my house. Both of these ladies have been traumatized. I want them to get to the best protection they can, but I also don't want to traumatize them further. Give us a few minutes to get it together. You're the biggest gun Summer Court's got. You can hold the fort down for a few minutes while we get everybody together.
And you can see he's pissed at this, but I'm going to let Ditto come walking up at about this moment.
There's just this like Ditto sort of steps forward out of the shadows as Ember and says, Embers needs to see what exactly, Rex?
Oh, so they've got another one. Pete's.
Why do you think I'm here?
All right, I was gonna bring him in if you want to see him here. Oh, shit, you. This is dangerous, ma'am.
This is hardly anything I'm concerned about, and you don't need to be either. Go home, and speak of this to no one.
Ma'am, I think I'd like for you to roll me here a. This is probably a conflict.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking Hearts and Minds, but that's Hearts of Wulan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think conflict. We're hitting a social conflict.
Yeah, you get what you want from them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm sticking with calm. It did so well for me.
Anyone here before you roll want to add some support in this?
I think Pete will, because this is his house, and he's sort of adding that extra gravitas.
And you're a member of the court.
Yeah, and Rex also is a beast, so he understands the den part.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and roll that support? What are you feeling for it?
Let's see. I think Pete is probably at this point. He's in his place of power, so I think he's rolling. I think he's rolling power.
Excellent. Go ahead and give it a roll.
This is where he sits. Let's see how this works. That'll be a 10.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, with a 10, you're going to be able to add something to trust pool, since that was sort of the intent, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But it also means that you can clear a condition yourself, ask the person that you're supporting a question they must answer, or gain a debt off them.
Let's see. Now, who could I gain a debt from in this situation? Would it just be Ditto, or would it be Songbird? Or
it would definitely be Ditto, though. I suppose in a way you may be feeling at the moment like you're doing it for Embers,
yeah,
but
I don't know. I don't know it's Ditto.
Right.
It would be sort of one of those, like, as the scene wraps and you find out, like, it would be oh, thank you for helping me get through that sort of thing.
Because, I mean, keep in mind, this can get you in trouble too. Your motley mate is lying about being a prince of Chicago to one of the hires. Court. Yeah, of your court.
Yeah. Okay. I will. I think he's definitely going to, of course, add to the trust pool and take the debt on Ditto.
All right. So, you want to use that out of the trust pool there, Ditto?
Yes.
All right. So you're rolling an advantage, and sounded like you were rolling with what?
Calm.
Calm. Excellent.
Which is a staggering roll of 8.
Well, you are even with advantage. Wow. All right.
2 2s.
So you get to pick 2.
So I get what I want from him. And I avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
He says, of course. Boss, really, never speak of it again?
I feel like you're speaking of something I told you not to speak of.
I'm sorry. Of course. I'll head back to court. And he sort of gives a glare over towards where Vin's over there, kind of huddled, kneeling.
And just to help seal it, and I think maybe something of why he keeps his mouth shut as he's backing out, I turn back to Pete, and just with this like fury in my voice, now you, and just like start onto this sort of fake tirade that cuts off as soon as he closes the door.
Oh, that's fan. That seems to allay a lot for him as he kind of and closes the door. You, Keen, can hear the sound of kind of wind outside of it, and then there's a flapping noise. So someone is flying away on their enormous wings.
I can't believe you would act so irresponsibly in front of the court and the city and everyone. And is he gone? I can't hear him anymore. And there was sort of like the cawing and the flock.
Pete started up and say, "Whoa, hey, I was just trying to," and then he realizes as soon as Ember starts to use Ditto mannerisms, oh shit.
God damn it, Ditto.
That was a big choice.
You said you had. I mean, you were watching because we were together, and you promised that no matter what.
Nadia comes running out with Jack Daniels. Whiskey! I've got whiskey!
I'll take a
What the
shot.
hell? You're all back?
Yeah, pour up.
Things move fast. Get us some shot glasses for everybody. And Pete turns to the woman who's like trying to hold it together. I'm presuming you want one too.
You see her, and again, she hasn't moved since you've done this, and you could see all of this will inside of her holding herself together. She looks at you. He won't stop looking. And she faints dead away.
Okay. And Pete's going to basically set her up to where she can lay down on the couch. He'll throw like one of the throw blankets over her and get up and say, all right. Ditto, this just happened.
What is more like Clara?
I don't know. Whatever happened before, you guys said something about that dream stuff. I got pulled into that dream place. Wherever he's doing what he's doing, he pulled me into there. He got more than
he's very big there. Horns.
Whoa, hold on. He got more than he bargained for. Because
give him the claws.
He got a boot, but I did learn something, and something that might be useful. When I tussled with him while I was in there, I kicked him through a door.
Oh, hell yeah.
Inside that door, there was a female figure, or at least it looked female. It was tall, looked like it was wearing a wedding dress. It was strange. And it had this sort of non-face, that sort of like flat panel, like kind of reflective no face, almost like what Ditto sometimes looks like if you see him in the wrong light, like the light reflects off badly or something.
I have a face.
That's you know what I mean, like when the light hits your face, like it looks like a blank, like a slate.
I think it's rather a nice face. People told me it's a nice face.
I didn't say it wasn't a nice face. You're reading too much into this. Okay. That Holmes guy seemed to be trying to placate that thing. Whoever or whatever that was in that room, he did not want it coming out. He was worried, and he backed out of that room slowly and closed the door. Enough, giving me enough time to get out of there with this lady. He's going to be coming hard and fast now. We've got two that we've rescued, but we know something a little bit more about what happened. Now,
Pete,
I've given you all the stuff I have. What the heck? What the heck have you guys been doing?
Mostly running.
And poor Ash. I mean, you have so little idea of what the fuck's going on.
It's a hell of a night, Peter.
You do. I swear, Ash, you do not know the half of it.
I really don't.
I don't know why you ditched us coming out of the hedge. You were right behind us. I don't know what you. I don't know where you went, and that's your business.
Yeah, Peter, I have to go all the way to the loop and see Semolina to find out that you all have been kidnapping mortals somehow out of the hedge.
Kidnapping?
We're not saving, pulling, extracting.
Where are these people even coming from? Humans in the hedge doesn't sound right.
Okay. Short version. Because I think my short version will be shorter than Ditto's version.
Probably.
So, number one, H.H. Holmes, the serial killer guy from Chicago, is apparently a changeling and has been kidnapping mortals and taking them to this weird sort of creepy murder hotel place that he's carved into the hedge. Okay.
Ditto briefly changes into Holmes's human visage just for added emphasis.
God, don't do that. Oh my God. All right. Number two. Are we on three? Okay. Next, we discovered that this guy, this Holmes thing, is not only a changeling, but is a changeling who seems to be trying his best to become a keeper. He's not a keeper yet, but he has somehow maybe managed to trap a keeper, maybe his keeper, in this little hedge realm he's created. That may be who was in that room that he was trying to placate. That's my guess.
Once again, there's a flash as Ditto turns into like Minotaur goat horn monstrosity Holmes.
Oh, and holy shit, you saw that too?
It's not good, no good. Don't like it. Very big.
And you all need to tell me.
And this thing seems to be able to, I don't know if he pulled me in there on purpose. I don't know if it was accidental because he was searching for Clara, who is the woman that we rescued from the hedge. I know you remember her, Ditto, because you complained about us rescuing her. And Ash, I know you remember her. Again, you complained about us rescuing her. So I just rescued this lady out of another one of those weird hallways.
And I'm going to just sort of, I certainly don't want to squash on our role playing on this, but can we assume that in the next few minutes, everyone sort of tells what they've been through here?
Yes, Ditto will brokenly and idiosyncratically explain how like the women, they're not wrong. He's going to keep coming for them, and he can because they're connected. Like, he's connected to them, they're connected to him. So the more that we have, the easier it'll be for him to find us, but we also have some sort of pathway potentially back to him.
And also that he can't leave his realm, and the only way he can usually access these people is through the dreams of the women, because he tried to leave to get us, and he seemed like he could not. And one thing that Keen would ask you, Pete, at some point is just because I know we know this as players, but just if you heard how Holmes addressed this porcelain person or something. So because I think he said mistress, right? So just something, so we all have that on the table.
Oh yeah. Pete would basically try to describe that if you put that question. I don't think he would like throw that in there because he thinks it's the keeper. So he would have said, "I'm pretty sure. I think that's his keeper. I think that's the keeper that he maybe has locked up in there." But he wouldn't have. I don't know that he would necessarily mention mistress unless you specifically asked him about that detail. Because he would have brushed right past that, I think.
Cool.
And Ash, considering what you heard in the hedge, Do you bring up the mistress they're talking about? Do we get to that point of hearing that name, and do you tell them that?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm too freaked out and bothered.
Okay. Cool.
I just want to go back to business.
I will say this, like, I'm actually, me as a player, I'm actually relieved that the mistress wasn't the first one when we pulled out of the hedge. Because I thought that was where you were going.
So with this information that you've all shared to your extent of what what we told each other, and we know Songbird has gone back to court. Got a feeling he's going to not bring up this topic again. But there's still some edges of danger of something coming out, say Ember, say, well, if they're not showing up soon, why don't I go? Well, you were already there, ma'am. What? Sort of thing.
I don't see how any of that could happen. No, perfect plan.
But we also have said we're going to be going to court anyway. So let's frame up what we're doing here as we're all together. And again, feel free. We can role play a bunch in this. I just wanted to make sure we had our information all in a row.
Yeah, I think Pete's going to push to as soon as the women are ready to travel. Pete will push to get them to the courts because he figures the more powerhouses we've got around, the better, the more secure it's going to be. Okay. And the courts really do need to know all this stuff. They really need to know what's going on with this guy and what might be going on in that little murder hole he's got.
All right. Ditto, what are your thoughts at this moment?
I mean, I definitely think we need the advice or support of someone wiser, better at this than we. But I think like trying to find a way to use that connection back through them to him.
Okay. Keen, thoughts as we're hitting this moment?
The only thing I'd be trying to do is I noticed that Ash mentioned seeing Semolina, and that would sort of remind me of my duties to Spring because she's been the one mentoring me and all that. So I guess I'm just trying to keep an eye on Ash because he was gone all day and I don't know what he was up to. And I'm trying to see if he's bringing back any weird regents to do some kind of ritual or something. I don't know what he's all about, but that's about it. Otherwise, I'm ready to go when people are.
Okay. And Ash, anything for you?
Yes. I want to finish my project, and I think what that requires is capturing a beast from the hedge. No big deal.
Awesome. So is this something you're thinking, okay, they're going to go and take this girl to the courts, I can go off and do this myself? Or what you thinking?
I was thinking of yeah, no, I mean, I think I'll just ask who wants to come with me. So I think nudge, Keen, if you want to keep an eye on me.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't going to invite me, I was just going to wait here and follow you. So either way works good.
I think I'll like say all this and I'll like ask for some help, but I'm probably being pretty dodgy about it.
I think Pete says normally I'd be all up to run with you in the hedge, but I've got to put in the time with this, and I've got to make sure that stunt Ditto just pulled does not bite us in the ass.
So Ditto, now hearing that, are you going to go with Pete to deliver these two ladies to Summer, or what would you like to do? And also, did you mention to Keen Holmes's interest in her? You're muted, my love.
mutant stuff. No, I mean he probably just interested in any changeling he could catch. I don't think he particularly caught on to like Keen above others.
There was the distinction of it wasn't you. So at the very least, there's young man do this, young girl he was wanting. So okay, but you don't think you brought that up?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, cool. So you're going to court, or are you going off in the hedge? Darren, naughty.
Yeah, I'll go with Pete. It sounds like it has the most potential to go horribly.
All right then. So as we kind of get the ladies, we get Clara up, and she's had a bit of rest, and she sees this other woman, and she's like, where did she come from?
We helped another escape the Nightmare Hotel.
It's like a miracle having found all of you.
Yeah, we're taking you both to a place where we think we'll have more folks available to help guard you, because we think he's probably going to make a play again, and we want to be ready.
He'll never let us go. Never.
Yeah, that he won't want to, but that's one of the things I'm going to deal with.
And so you and Ditto get them together. The second one you brought out is, she's pretty exhausted out, so you're going to end up having to kind of carry her with you. Pete, do you have a car? I know we established that definitely Keen and Ditto don't, but I could see Pete maybe.
I think Pete does, because he's got the bail bondsman business, so he's got like an SUV or minivan type thing with the logo on the side, and it's probably like something just ridiculously detailed to make him get a particular spot in the phone book when you look up bail bondsman. So it's probably like double A1 or something like it.
Perfect.
Something ridiculously cheesy.
All right. So you get them all in, and you and Ditto head off towards court. Meanwhile, we have Keen and Ash preparing to go into the hedge, find a hedge beast. Ash, what sort of preparations, what sort of things are you doing to prepare for this?
I have my thorn with me. I am. Let's see. What is one prepared to do in the hedge? I think. I think I may be putting on some like special clothing, right? Maybe. I don't know. What does one prepare for the hedge?
Do you think you have like leathers that you wear when you go out into the hedge, or do you have more like a suit with lots of pockets or something?
I think it's like a riding outfit, as if I were like gonna go riding into the hedge, right? So
Excellent.
some like high boots and some, I don't know, the pants, a jacket, a sensible hat.
I gotcha. And Keen, anything you're putting together going into the hedge?
So I was thinking I'm like 4 shots in. So like the first thing was like getting Nadia sort of drunk so that she would kind of just not worry about it. I was kind of trying to subdue her before we all leave. And I don't know if I have too much like useful stuff. I think I have all these whistles that are going to be like useful for like luring in creatures or something, which probably aren't going to be. But I'm basically just like, I'm taking this very serious. So any of my outdoors clothes that I have, I'm like getting it ready, packing up my pack with like way too much stuff. I'm ready for an excursion.
Excellent. Okie doke. So, sounds like Ash, you're going to be opening up a hedge gate and heading into the hedge.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a into the hedge move.
With my quickly dwindling emotions that I get. Well, I think this is calm because I feel like I'm back to a job and I like have a goal and there's a way to do this. Keen's not doing weird shit to people.
Yeah.
Okay, so rolling off of calm.
+2. 5, 6, 7, 8. I got an 8, barely.
Got an 8. All right. So on a hit, you're going to pick one. You arrive where you want. You evade pursuit. You find what you want, or you learn something about the world. And with an 8, you will pick one, and I will choose one of it takes significantly more time. You draw attention. You take harm. You mark clarity. You lose something important. And we know how that goes. And you owe a debt.
I don't want to do this one, but I was thinking how funny it would be if I lost Keen. Sorry.
Immediately.
Yeah. Oh, bye. I don't want to do that. On the hits, pick one. Let's do. I want to evade pursuit for now, right? I don't want that to be the immediate problem.
Cool.
And then on the 8, oh man. I'm gonna pick Mark Clarity.
All righty. And so, it's a difficult row for you to go through as you begin moving through the hedge and, opening this space up a key right behind you. And as you move through, you can sense that the hedge itself is in kind of a royal around Chicago. And you're turning and moving through it as it's reaching out and grasping you. And it takes a long time before you can finally reach a path. Up until now, it's just been the sort of grasping at you. And so it feels like it's been hours that you've been moving before a path finally opens to you. Now, I ask, is there a specific type of hedge beast you think you need to find, or is it any hedge beast?
Oh, I think it's a specific hedge beast. I think it was supposed to be like a horse or like a stag or something,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm changing the recipe. And I want to find like a wolf. Just use basic creatures. A dream wolf.
Excellent. Okay.
Fine.
And so
normal.
As the two of you come out to this path, it's dark and Keen. You could sense how Ash was having a hard time getting through this. As you finally find this path around you, the air is stifling as though it hardly moves. There's the smell of like upturned dirt. The hedge is dark wood and dark leaves with these thorns poking out to either side. And as you come to this path, in the breeze around you, you can sense a sort of heat to it. Something hot, humid. It's just filling the air. You would swear it smells like rotten meat.
I turn to Ash and I just say, "What did you need this for again?"
It's just a tool, King. We just need to find. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
I'm worried about it. I'm like really worried. It smells so bad.
Just hold your nose. It's core business. Sometimes you just have to do things to make the community better. I know Semolina always teaches you to look out for yourself, but we're working for the group now.
Okay, work for the group.
As the two of you begin moving through this kind of oppressive, moist heat, through the hedges, it opens to where it's trees more than just hedges. But again, they're so thickly packed that only the path really is giving you much leeway to move. It's dark in here. You're not sure if it's because in this part of the hedge the sun hasn't risen, never rises, or if maybe just the branches are preventing it from reaching this area. But it's so stifling. Quiet. No insects, no birds. From behind you, you hear, "Oh, oh," and a hot, wet breeze passes across the two of you. Looking back, in the distance, in the trees, you see two red eyes. I'm going to cut there. As we pull up to, what is Summer? I don't think we established before. Where is Summer Court, Chris?
I think Summer Court, they hold court at it's one of those MMA training gyms.
Okay.
They do that after. That's where they hold court after hours. And what happens is, it's they've enchanted up the place so that if you come in after hours through the right door, you come into this big open area, almost like a sporting arena type look. And there's like the depressed area in the middle where you might have like a fight or a show or something like that, and then you've got the rest of it that's slightly raised up from that in like this sort of slanting, almost like bleacher type looking things where people mingle and talk and all that sort of stuff.
Excellent. All right then. And so as you pull up, and I'm guessing you get the two girls out, you and Ditto head inside. It is, now it's really early morning. It's like 6 a.m. But as you come moving up, about 5 guys come out, and they're in their sweats, and they're starting to jog. They're heading off to do their run. At the door, as they're coming out, you see Songbird. And he looks over at you. Pete, I figured you'd be coming in soon.
I said I'd be coming in soon, and I was told to come in, so.
He looks over at Ditto.
Songbird.
Ditto. Got my eye on you.
Ditto.
As you move past, he kind of leans, just kind of pitching his voice where probably only you can hear it, Ditto, or at least trying to with his big growly voice. and the senses of Pete, he might pick it up, but he goes, I'll tell Legions you said hi.
I'll tell Embers you were asking.
As you head inside, there's the very early morning activity, but it's guys that are coming in before they have to go to their job. So you see some folks, they're working out. They probably got here at 5 in the morning because, you know, it's train, do a real job, come back, hope you know, get yourself ready. But Pete, you've got no problem. You know this place. This is home.
Oh yeah, and plus, you know, at least a couple of those mortars are actually, like, you know, currently on bond. So
Absolutely. And so as you move through, tell me real quick, what does Ember's office space look like? Where does she in this place have her space?
I think she's got space. There's the workout area and everything, and the little practice ring and practice mats and stuff like that on the main level. And there is a mezzanine level above that, and I think her office is on the mezzanine level, so she can see everything that's going on there while she's in her office. She's got like those mirror windows around, so she can see everything that's going on while she's sitting in there.
And as you head back and through with, you know, and Clara's going, oh my goodness, these pugilists are, well, they're very handsome, aren't they? As she's sort of overwhelmed by all of this male flesh that's about, and ever so good a shape. And she's blushing a bit. As you head up and reaching the door, I am guessing you knock.
Oh, yeah.
And it's opened, and you see Embers there. Oh, Pete. Thank goodness you've made it. I was wondering why you sent Rex back, but he said, no, it's fine. I'm back, and it was... sometimes I don't understand him, you know. Well...
he overreacted a little bit when the second one showed up while he was there. You'll notice we had...
He looks over it.
I show her... I introduced both of them. This is...
You've gotten 2. How the fuck did you get another one?
It's going to take some telling. We might want to sit down for a minute. It's a weird story.
Coffee.
Sure.
Oh,
do you have the Irish variety? Because this is going to be that kind of story, I think.
She opens a drawer in her desk and pulls out a Jameson's bottle. She looks over at you, Ditto. Ditto. Welcome.
Ditto helped a lot with the first one we rescued, and it's this whole thing is a huge mess. Embers.
What do you say, Ditto, as she nods the welcome?
Yes. Hi. Huge mess.
Yeah. Welcome to the Court of Summer, and Pete, do you lay out what happened?
Yeah, I lay out what's going on. I lay out our suspicions about that the lady in the wedding dress that I saw inside the dream world. That I think that might be the keeper that he might be trying to hold in there and siphoning power from. And I also relay that there seems to still be some connection between him and that space where his murder hotel thing used to be, based on what Ditto and Keen had told me earlier.
Well, I've spoken with the other princes, and we're going to hold high court. I will take these 2 and protect them, and we will go and, as a city, decide what's best to do.
He's Holmes, the doctor. He's connected. He's following lines tether to the women.
Yes. Oh, did I not mention that? Yeah, we think he's got some sort of enchantment or connection to the women where he's trying to follow them. He seems to have trouble following them directly, due to whatever is keeping him stuck, I guess is the way Ditto described it to me. To that space, and that may be a way we have to draw him out to deal with him, because I don't think we can really deal with him while he's in his little cubby.
Well, that'll be something for the courts to decide, Pete.
I understand. I'm just letting you know. I got into a tussle with him while I was in there, and he took a full force kick from me like it was a slight inconvenience. And that's not something I've seen very many people do.
I will tell you, it's not a surprise that, well, when I informed Singy Branches, she seemed to be of the opinion that it wasn't such a big deal.
I would respectfully disagree with that.
She may have just been doing it to be contrary. We'll meet together. If it is, in fact, a problem of level of a keeper, then we will all have to work together to create something to stop it.
It's not a keeper. It's worse. It's an example, model, a path, temptation. If a person, if us can become them, if people know, then
a person, we don't become them.
That's what this thing seems to want to do, is the impression we've gotten. That's why this Holmes is doing what it is he's doing. Why he's doing this kidnapping, why he's drawing them all into the hedge, why he's keeping them there for extended periods of time. Both of these women have been kept there for years. It was only through Ditto's magic with Clara, and through whatever magic I could work on, and I never was able to ask her name because she passed out as soon as we got her back. It was only through what minimal magics I could work that she managed to survive coming back into the world, because time made a grab for both of them.
I've spoken with Beck and Call, and he agrees with me that this is worth taking very seriously. I have also spoken with Ashwind. He's requested that one of Winter Court investigate this more. Pete.
Well, Ditto's right here.
Well, perhaps then, Ditto, you won't mind. Pete, if you can help, and Ditto, Legion's Lost has been assigned to assist your motley, to inform Winter.
Legion's to Art, and he's to help it, but he's very important. Well, he could. We have room, I guess.
So it's not objectionable to you?
No. I mean, no.
With this situation, we'd be happy for any help anybody's willing to give.
Well, then, Pete, I ask you to be kind and help him as much as possible. And Ditto, we are more than happy to work with Winter Court. Too often we get divided. Clearly, there are some in this city who just don't understand what it takes to bring about safety. Having Winter beside us makes us all safer. We can all hope to avoid a fall.
Hope to.
Pete nods.
I will take care of these, and Pete, if you can continue investigating, The more we know, the better off we'll be. Court will be held in 3 days.
Thank you. If I can offer any other assistance to help care for the 2 rescuees, let us know as well.
At this, Clara, who's kind of been just watching, Pete, you're not leaving me, are you?
We've got to go see if we can deal with him, and we can't take you with us when we do that. We have to get these folks who we trust to take care of you and to keep an eye out for him. This is Embers. She is one of the few people in the city who is able to meet the requirements that we'd have of someone who could help and who could protect you while we're out trying to deal with Holmes.
Embers says, "You don't have to worry. No one will get you here." And Clara runs over and hugs you. Ditto. What do you do?
Yep, Embers, it's safe. It's sound. Hold. Stay. Just walls. Yes.
She kisses you on the cheek. Thank you for saving me.
Just stay saved.
She moves over to you, Pete, and puts you in a big hug, kisses you on the cheek. And Embers will politely tell you, usher you on out and off about your business.
And we go.
I
think Pete actually thanks Embers for doing this.
And as you come out, you see Songbird, and he's got that sort of snotty look on his face. Call to the carpet again, Pete.
It's really nice carpet.
I'll be sure to say hi to Legions for you.
He kind of looks at you, and you can see he's got this sort of, oh, you know something I don't know look on his face. Yeah. All right. As we cut over to the path where, stepping out of the wood, we see this enormous lupine shape. The eyes glowing red and steam coming from its nose as it steps onto the path. Ash, what you doing?
Yeah, Ash, what are you doing?
I want to let's see. What if we're having a battle of wills with
Are you sure?
wolf?
You sure it's not just teeth?
What?
Never mind.
So you're trying to stare down this wolf. Is that what you're trying to do?
I want to like shift the hedge to our favors. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to.
Okay.
I want to like make it stumble, make it get caught on things, and like try to give us an advantage.
All right. That sounds like you're invoking a contract.
Yeah,
so what do you think you're calling to here in the hedge? What is the power you're drawing to in this case?
I think it's Oh, you know what? I want this to be like a goblin contract, so it's kind of a shitty contract, but it's like about that like reworking little details, right? So it's like shifting rocks here and there, branch falls, just to throw this wolf off.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So let's roll invoke a contract. What are you feeling as you invoke it?
I am. Let's see. I came in here calm, and now I'm facing down this beast. I think that. Yeah, I think that I'm. No, I think I'm still calm, right? Because I'm still on task. I'm still doing a job. So.
Okay.
I'm going with calm.
And you've gotten this goblin contract, so you're capable of doing these things. It makes perfect sense you'd be calling with this.
Got an 8. Barely.
8. All right. So with an 8, I'm going to tell you the catch that's involved here. So as you begin invoking this contract, and it sounded like you were trying to just make it so the hedge is hindering this wolf. It's giving you the perfect lines of sight on it. It's hindering its movements, all that sorts of thing. And you picked it up from a goblin at the market. And he told you it was going to work just fine. It was exactly what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
But as you begin invoking it, it seems as though the hedge wants something in return for this.
Naturally.
And so, as it begins to close around the wolf, making it difficult on him, tendrils of it are also moving towards you and Keen. I'm going to give you the option here. Do they go for you or do they go for Keen?
I'm very sorry, Matt, but obviously it goes for Keen.
Of course.
In the invoke contract, you can also take a condition instead of following the catch.
That's true. You can choose to do that if you'd like.
Just thought I'd give you the opportunity to refuse more selfless actions.
Thank you. Yes.
And so these vines, suddenly, Keen, you feel them wrapping around your feet and your legs. And those little thorns kind of pressing up against you. But as they're coming, it's like it's getting thicker and the thorns are getting longer. What do?
Well, I have not rolled my channel collect my energies, and I don't know if I can now that I'm all entwined like this. So I might need to just call upon a contract.
Okay.
Greater
you can
power.
certainly do that. What are you calling on?
What am I calling on? I think I'm calling on kind of the wild tempests that tend to just kind of roam around the hedge. Like all of a sudden it'll just be like hurricane gale force winds. So I think I just want sort of I just want a big, I guess it's like the way it would go ideally is like some kind of cyclone that would kind of gather up around me and sort of push these vines away from me, so I'd just be standing within it on my own.
Ooh, I like that. All right, let's. What you feeling? What you pulling from?
It's probably anger, right? I gotta be a little. I don't know how much of this was an intentional choice. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's fun that I don't know that you screwed me. Because I don't really know what you were doing.
I didn't mean to screw you. The contract was probably just like a companion.
Well, you did. So, let's go with power. They're both zeros, but I think it's a power thing. I think I really want to show Ash what I'm all about, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, mark clarity as you call upon the winds of the hedge themselves to bolster you up and make your roll.
Make my roll. Okay, that is a 7. Skated right in there.
Ooh, all right. I'm going to tell you the catch. Turnabout is fair play. As the winds are catching up and they're whipping these vines around you, I'm going to give you the option here. You can send them out, but that's going to almost certainly hit Ash. Or you can wrap them up in such a way that it doesn't hit Ash, but it's also going to free that wolf. because they're wanting to grab someone, and you're either going to have to say, you're not grabbing anyone, or I'm giving you somebody else to grab.
And the wolf is currently entrapped how again, exactly?
Where he invoked this contract, the same thing that was happening to you is happening to the wolf.
Right, it's the vines. Okay. I like that I'm messing it up for Ash, but by being nice to him so that he has more of a reason to feel bad for me or not. So let's do that. I think I'm gonna send them all just away or bundle them up and basically render them useless.
Excellent. And so you can see, Ash, as this goes on, these vines pull away and they're sort of pulled back as the wind rises and Keen escapes them. And you can feel the hedge that you call to this contract. It's pissed and releases the wolf. And it leaps forward as though to just jump on top of you and take a big bite out. This is conflict. What would you like to roll for with conflict there?
As it's jumping, I'm like, Keen, we're supposed to catch the wolf. What am I? Well, I guess I'm moving on to fear now. I'm a little scared seeing a terrifying wolf leap at me. 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Yeah, 8.
There's an 8. Now, I will ask, Keen, do you think you're trying to support here?
Yes, I do.
Roll support. What are you doing, and what do you want to roll with?
I think that I would like to use these winds that I've gathered, this sort of tempest that while I expended most of it to free me, to maybe sort of buffet the wolf back or sort of throw it off of its course a little bit so that Ash can have a better opportunity. I don't know how you're fighting this thing, Ash, but whatever I can do there, I will help with that. And I think that I'm feeling... I think it's just anger, not that I'm like really mad, but I'm just a little peeved that like he threw that comment at me. Like, I'm helping, man. Come on now. So let's do that. It's another +0. I seem to be doing a lot of that today. That's a 5. Woo!
Oh, that's fantastic. So you still have that 8, and I'd like to hear you describe what it looks like and tell me your choices there on the on your list, Ash.
Let's see.
You're going to get to pick 2.
Yeah. Oh, just this on a hit. She picked 3 on a 7 and picked 2. That's funny. Okay, pick 2. I think that yeah, these are some good options. I'm going to create an opportunity for me and my allies and extricate myself.
Excellent. And so as it leaps towards you and these winds are sort of throwing it off, you do sort of slide back to the side so that this monstrous thing leaps past you and right into Keen. Keen, I'd like for you to mark what you rolled with, and as this thing's enormous mouth sort of hovers above you and its saliva drips down onto your face, mark a clarity as well. As this is mind-numbingly terrifying, this thing. You, however, have opened up this opportunity because now is when I'm going to ask you, Ash, what is the thing you need to take from this wolf?
Oh, I need the whole wolf.
You need the whole thing.
My big plan is to tame it. I want to tattoo it and get a little beastie for the court.
Then let me propose this as a thought here. The reason you needed that thorn is because the only thing that will put this beast to sleep and penetrate its skin, so you can tattoo it with the thorn, but also to put it to sleep is this venomous thorn. So it's been opened up because it's standing on your friend fixing to bite his face or her face off. So we've got an advantage. I'm going to have you roll a stay strong on this. This is a straight getting what you want to sink this thorn in. I'm going to ask you, Matt, to roll a conflict as this thing is going to try and bite your face off before it goes to sleep. So first, let's have you roll, Ash, the stay strong. What you rolling with?
Oh, man. I think I'm afraid again because despite Keen and my tiff, we're still motley mates, and I don't want our head to get bitten off.
Now that's kindness.
I'll never tell you that, but ooh, I got a 12.
Oh, fantastic. You stick this thing in right behind its ear into its neck. How did you do, Matt? Oh, you're muted, beloved. And what'd you roll with?
I rolled with fear because I'm terrified, and I rolled a 9.
Oh, excellent. So you get 2 on there. What would you like to choose with that?
Let's see. I rolled conflict. I feel like I'm trying to decide whether my condition went to frenzied and violent or to passive and appeasing. I think it's probably the second one for a few reasons. But I think that I will extricate myself as soon as I can, and I will avoid harm, please.
And so as you struggle underneath this thing and it sort of goes, "Arr!" as something gets stuck in its neck, it just becomes dead weight on top of you. Dropping down, its mouth still open and loiling, falls right across your chest and your neck. Its tongue falls splat across your face as you sort of and get away. And there's slobber that runs down your face and down your front of your shirt as you pull out.
I do the Avatar thing where I just go, and it all just blows off my face because I still have some air left.
Excellent. And so as we're reaching the end of our evening, Ash, you're going to get last word. What do you say looking down at your friend there with this wolf unconscious beside her?
Keen, you can't tell the spring court about this.
Oh, and that's where we will end. Oh, love it.
So you're about to watch me tattoo this wolf.
So let's do end of session real quick, and I'll try and get us through them quickly because we are nearing up on time. So end of session. First off, we did a pretty good little job of hitting some of these entanglements, I feel like. So I'm going to go down the line. Patrick, did we hit your entanglement there?
Oh yeah, we're all over it this time with Songbird and fucking with him, and we even got Legion's Lost set up into it there. It was nice.
Excellent. And did anyone in particular you feel like help you with that, push into that?
I think Pete literally helped me with it.
Excellent. So that's an XP for both of you. Matt, yours was...
My pledge to snitch on Ash, which Darren absolutely helped me with. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to follow him around. And he was like, well, let's go in the forest and hunt a beast. Okay, great. So, yeah, I think we hit it.
I think so, too. So that's an XP for both of you. Darren, yours.
Mine was Singing Branches, My Court Superior, Believing in Service of Ditto. I was angling to get there, but I don't think we got there.
I don't think we got there, but we are very much on track for that coming up shortly, because we're already hearing about Branches not exactly being on board with what's going on, and I think we have a lot of opportunities for that to come up soon.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think about yours?
I think we almost leaned into it there towards the end, but I don't think we got Max involved quite yet. I got the impression we was leaning in that direction with the other Winter Court operatives, but I don't know if we quite reached that point yet. We were close, but not quite.
I don't think we got there either, and I'm going to have to push those a little stronger, but I felt like we hit a couple tonight, and that was nice. So, next on the list, pardon my bad sight, expressing your seeming or kith. Patrick, would you express yours?
I just a little bit. I slightly mirrored some things along the way.
Yeah, I mean, low hanging balls on putting yourself in as the Prince of Summer. Very brave. All right, Matt, did you express your seeming or kith?
I think so. I don't know. I guess when I teleported away on the winds, I did some wind stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I felt like we definitely got the impression of who you were, and that, you know, the wind nature. I kind of played into some of the descriptions going for that, and you bit right onto that as well. So, does everybody sort of feel like they saw that?
Because it wasn't even just using your air powers. It was like you were taking on the sort of flighty, ephemeral nature of air and just like zipping out of some of the situations.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good. Darren, how about yours?
Let's
see, with Darkling.
I think seeming I did. That idea of like being very upset about not knowing what's going on, and then kind of like still tirelessly pursuing this task.
I think so too. And Pete, Chris, what do you think there?
Well, I think Pete did. He did he basically bearded from his perspective at least, he bearded the monster in its den.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the bow up a little bit to Songbird Rex barging into his place. So he basically asserted his role in his den. So I think
so too. All right, your season, Patrick. Did you express winter season?
I'm not sure if I did this time.
I'm not sure if you did either.
I don't know if we got around to a lot of intense sorrow sort of stuff.
Mm-mm.
There was a lot of abject terror. I think.
Yeah.
We did a lot of abject terror this time.
Matt, what do you think about your season?
I feel like it's easy to just play upbeat, but I don't know if I really embodied like joyfulness or anything this session. Didn't really feel.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. We saw it very much that his last session. I think that this one, you know, there were things around it just didn't happen for. So that's cool. Darren, how about your season, Autumn?
Not yet. I think right at the end there, maybe that sort of like plotting and planning.
I saw that really coming out in that the wolf hunt. I mean, if that isn't doing crazy weird magic crap, I don't know what would be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and you were definitely spreading a little fear by like not telling Keen what you were after until it was on you.
I think I saw it too.
Okay.
And how about you, Chris? Did Pete show summer?
I think, well, he interacted a lot with his court, but anger wise, I think the only time he really had any serious conflicts was with Holmes, and I think he probably got it just from fighting that thing in its den. I mean, in its little cubby hole. I mean, if taking the fight to the monster in its lair isn't summertime warfare, I don't know what would be.
Okay, excellent. I agree with you as well. All right then. So humanity, Patrick, feel like you hit humanity?
Yeah, I definitely think the like pettiness and bad decisions over emotional strife was very much there.
Excellent. How about your humanity, Matt?
Sorta. I mean, I guess we saw like me being scared when I went out to do a thing that I was not prepared to do, or being sort of like naively like over just assuming Ash knew what he was doing and then not. But I don't know. It didn't feel like super strong this time.
I would say that kind of with that humanity is a lot of looking at a more human side of things than your fey changeling-y nature.
Right.
And I'm not sure if we saw a great deal of that this time.
Yeah.
That seemed good to you?
Mm-hmm.
That seemed fair? All right. How about you, Darren? Do you feel like you showed much humanity out of Ash? Were you stretching back into your humanness?
I think so, because of that scene where I was watching Pete try and reverse this aging. I think that like moment of like really connecting back with the trauma.
I like that too. I think that works. And Pete, do we feel like you were reaching back towards your humanness?
I think so. I think his panic over trying to help the lady that he surprisingly managed to pull off rescuing from the dream, him trying to settle down the women as they had to leave them with the summer court folks. I think he hit that.
Okay, I can see that. So, and finally, concede a conflict. Patrick, feel like you conceded a conflict during the course of that?
Mm-mm.
No. Matt, do you feel like you conceded a conflict somewhere in there?
I don't know. I ran away from Holmes. I just dipped and left Patrick there.
Oh, actually, yeah, there was that in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the both of you did a run.
Just fucking run.
And again, it's that concede a conflict is the idea that you're leaving because you know you have to come back with better knowledge. The question here is, do you feel like you conceded the conflict, or was it just you fucking ran away?
It was probably just ran away, I think.
I think so too. And Ash and Pete, neither one of y'all conceded a conflict. You went in there and just roughed stuff up.
I did lose. I did not get to tell Songbird off. I wasn't trying to concede that. So
yeah, that was more of a bad roll.
Yeah.
So I think we all got some XP out of that. I'm being really broad with these questions too. I'm because I want to see us all get a chance to get some XP and do some level ups. We've got these sessions. I like to see that happening. So if you happen to hit 5, then pick yourself out something cool, make yourself something pretty, and if not, then I'm sure it's coming up soon. And that will be a wrap for our third session. We got 2 more. If you're hearing growling, that's the dog, because she's learned to recognize when I'm finishing up a game, and she knows that means going outside. But I thought this was fun. We're not going to do any sort of roses and thorns or anything like that. I would like to hit 1 more wishes and stars at the end of the next one, so we make sure we hit the last session really knowing what we want to see and really making sure we come to a nice resolution. And then on the last one, I do like roses and thorns for my last sessions, because I do like the critique that is more involved with what roses and thorns are. I like the more pointed critique from that. So I can't think. I think that's about everything. So hopefully We will all see each other again in a week. I hope you had a good time. I had a blast.
It was awesome.
Always.
So-
awesome.
Oh, it's so much fun.
So for everyone watching, watch more.
Mhm.
And we'll see y'all next week. I'm stopping the broadcast.